Hello guys, Chico is back with another video. This is Waleed and I'm going to talk about Kanban boards. So what are Kanban boards basically? Kanban boards are basically uh, task management tools that you can use to manage all your tasks. For example, we have a task, we make a YouTube video and it has a description that we have to make YouTube video for Kanban boards. We can just drag and drop that task from one column to another according to the status of that particular task, and when I'm done I move it to the done column. We can add more tasks. For example, uh, edit this video, and we can change its lanes, and finally we'll move it to the done tab. We can also add new status lanes. So this is the new status lane, and we can call it doing whatsoever you want to name it. We can add new tasks to it, making the video. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how to create this Kanban board in bubble.io. Let me walk you through each and every element that I've placed. Instead of creating all of it again, I'm just going to show you how I created and show you all the workflow steps. Um the first thing that you are going to need is a plugin called Draggable Elements. This is from Bubble, and it has two elements: drag and drop group and drop area. It has one action, one event, and one action. The event is when a drop area has a group dropped on it, then we are going to apply that action. Uh, let's move to the structure and the workflows. First thing we have to do is we need to have a container group um, in which we are going to place a repeating group which has all the status lanes. So for making Kanban board, you actually need uh, two tables in the database. Number one will be, let me show you, the status lane. This will have a name uh, and an order, or you can also call it an index number. This is for my use case, you won't be needing that, and you're good to go. And the second table you are going to need is the tasks. You need to have the lane uh, in which the task is residing. You need to have the order number. You need to have its content, and you need to have its title. These are the four things that you are going to require inside the tasks table. And uh, let's move on towards the structure again. So this is the first repeating group. This has this is this searches for all the status lanes, and it is sorted by order number. You can call it index, so it can be 1 2 3 4. You can order it uh, ascending in ascending order or descending order. It will only have one row, and you can have multiple columns in it. The second thing that we are going to require is uh, the drop area inside each of the column. So this is the drop area status lane, and we are going to make its tolerance intersect. So whenever an element is dropped on it, it uh, automatically intersects and goes into the right place. Type of content will be the status lane, and the data source will be current status lane. This drop area is only visible when there is no task in the current lane. And the other thing that we are going to apply to this is a condition when the this drop uh, area is dragged over, meaning that whenever an element a draggable element is uh, dragged on this group, it is going to change its background style for whatever you like. For example, I drag this over, so it has a different border, and the color also changes. On the drop area, there is going to be a workflow. So whenever a draggable element is dropped over this area, we are going to uh, we are going to trigger a workflow. So this is the workflow. When status lane a drop area status lane has a group dropped on it, what we do, we make change to the drop areas, uh, the tasks lane. So we just change the lane, and that tasks remain there in that lane. And the other thing that we really require is the card. Basically, this card that is going to be our task. So the structure is, this is also going to be a repeating group, and it will have all the tasks which reside in current cells lane, and we will also sort it by order. We can have it ascending or descending depending upon your use case, and but for our use case we are going to use descending order. And inside the repeating group, the first thing we'll place is this drop area. So whenever a task is dragged, this area should be able to detect that some element is being dragged over this area. Next thing is drag and drop group. This drag and drop group will be uh, whenever we click on it, it will be able to move, and we will be able to drag it like this all across the page. Inside the drag and drop group, I have placed an input which will be the title, so we can change the title right away just like this by clicking. The next thing is a multi-line input, and this is going to be uh, the task's description. And this is a group placed inside the repeating group, the main status lane repeating group. It will show the lane's name, and I'm using auto binding, so the changes are live, and they just go on whenever you click and type. Let's talk about adding a new task. This is the button. When we click it, we have a new task in that particular lane with the order index 1. So this is the task button. When we click it, if the task lane has already multiple tasks in it, it will just uh, make change to all of those tasks, add one to their order, and it will create new task with the order one, so it always comes on the top and user doesn't have to scroll down to see that okay, I have a new task, I have to do something about it. um, and then let me show you how we create a lane. This is the new lane button. We go over here. The new lane button just creates a new status lane. It has a name, new status. The order will be equal to uh, the number of status lanes already existing plus one, so it always comes on the end. And this is just workspace for me. It could be for you as well or not. Let's talk about how the drag and drop feature works. So we already talked about for the new uh, task areas, the new status lane. When they don't have any tasks, we can just drag and drop in this group. But now we are going to talk about the drop area uh, the task has. So what we are going to do is uh, create this workflow in which we are going to use this workflow when a drop area has dropped on it. What we are going to do is we are going to have we are going to set state of the repeating group status lane. It will have the old order, and that order will be this task, uh, the task of this drop areas order. We are going to make changes to that order. We are going to give it the current workflows tasks order, and then we are going to uh, change the order of current workflows task to the old order. This is going to happen only when this task lane is current workflows task lane. For example, this is these are two. So when I drop it over here, this workflow runs. And when uh, the lane is not same, what we are going to do is we are going to do pretty similar, but we are going to make changes to the lane as well. So step 1, set states of old order of the set state of repeating group status lane old order. Then we are going to make change to the current workflows task, and then we are going to uh, change the task that uh, that we dropped over here, and we are going to add um, one in the task, so it comes to the bottom, not the bottom, actually beneath the task that we have dropped uh, the task on. So for example, I drop this is going to move. I drop this task on the first one, it is going to be the first one, and the other one is going to be. The other thing to notice is that all the as this grows, it becomes scrollable instead of growing in height. So how I did that, this is the repeating group task. and the maximum height of this group is 400, and it has, if minimum height is 90% and maximum height is 400. Whenever the content is more than the 90% of the height, then a scroll bar comes on and we can scroll through that lane. uh, I think that's it. I hope you like the video, and make sure you do like and subscribe so we can make more such videos and help you build great and innovative applications. Thank you.